Ahoy there, YouTube! I'm back again for another Kickstarter critique where I take a look at a different Kickstarter board game every single time and give you my honest thoughts on how that Kickstarter is being ran. We're doing it live right now. And today I'm very excited to be checking out my Ugly Gryphon Inn, which is currently on Kickstarter. It has 68 hours left to go, and it's already raised $52,000. Now, the more I looked into this game, the more this game really intrigued me, because I believe it's from Button Shy Games, who typically make like these wallet-sized games. And I've played a couple of them, and some of them are pretty dang good. But this is actually a solo game. So I'm really excited. It's already raised $52,000 of a $2,000 goal, so it's doing incredibly well. Let's see what all the buzz is about. Let's see what they're doing well. Sound? Is there sound? Is it about to... I was so... That was just... I just got punched in the face with so many sounds and words and no talking. And I will be brutally honest with you, that was not a Kickstarter video for me. And there's some people in the chat. I want you to let me know if that was a video for you. Now, for me personally, I like to be sucked in by the video into what the game is potentially going to be. And I felt like you did a good job of that. Like, I understood the theme of the game was that I'm in this really loud and crazy bar. And maybe that was the point. Maybe you're trying to bring across the theme by the loud and crazy nature of the sound. And if it's at 52,000, then it worked. But for me personally, I think the video was a little bit of a turn off to me. But I'm very curious to see more as we continue. And 46 created. Now, normally this is a very interesting number. You just don't normally see 46 created. But I believe they have, a whole bunch of Button Shy games. Like, this is a really popular niche. Yeah, pocket size 4X, Button Shy wallet games. So I actually did a video earlier this week where they had a bunch of games and they were all just kind of disjointed and weird games, and it was a little bit of a turn off. However, seeing that actually is a big turn on to me. That's a nice warm security blanket saying this person knows how to make games, and they've made a lot of games, and they're funded, and they're successful, and maybe I just wasn't aware of this niche. So I like this. I like the fact that this is getting really popular, and I wonder if this is his most popular ever. I'm not going to go through all 46. You own the questionably prestigious Ugly Gryphon Inn, which is the only inn within 100 miles. Your patrons are rowdy and rude, but they are the only ones around. Your goal is to fill your inn with enough patrons to keep the debt collectors at bay, but to do so, you must manage some painfully peculiar patrons. That's a lot of P's. I liked it. All right. So very cool. And yes, it is. It's so it's a wallet-sized game. Now, what does that mean? Does that mean that you can have more stretch goals? Because eventually, if you do massively well and you have stretch goals, it wouldn't all fit in there, wouldn't it? We kicked off our Simply Solo line of May of 2020 with Food Chain Island. Wait, is that a spin on Food Chain Magnet? Is that a solo wallet version of Food Chain? I don't know. Ugly Gryphon Inn is in the second of the series. Each game is designed by Scott Almes and focuses on games that are one player only, light on rules, and big on replayability. And Scott Almes is a very good game designer. Fun fact about Scott Almes, I actually tagged him in a tweet to advertising that this was going to go up, but I actually tagged the wrong Scott Almes, and when I clicked on the wrong Scott Almes, apparently his whole page was just, I'm not a game designer, this is the Scott Almes you want, leave me alone. I imagine he just gets bombarded with tweets and he just wants to show pictures of his dogs. Scott Almes' popularity has ruined this man's Twitter life. But now back onto this. And now I look at Ugly Gryphon Inn. Okay, so we get some of the cards, offers the kind of brain-stretching puzzle that Scott Almes brought in to his first solo title. Rusty Ranger, there's 3 or more beer in the bar. Okay, arrows, Looks cool. Bar preference, quirks. I like the iconography. I hope there's a really well done player aid, potentially. And I don't want to know exactly how to play the game. At this point, so for me personally, I feel like I did a video on a children's game earlier this week, a children's deck building game, Color My Critters. And I said that game had a lot of what I call bulletproof armor, where normally there are certain red flags that turn you on or turn you off about a Kickstarter. Like, it's they haven't created any, or they haven't backed any, or they didn't put in their shipping. Things like that. But there's certain games that have like bodyproof armor where it's like it's such an odd or niche game that it slides. So for right now, I feel like the fact that this is A, a solo game, and B, a solo game that you can quite literally slide into your pocket and play at the airport and take with you, and you could have 10 of these games in your pocket. I think that gives it so much bulletproof armor because it's such a small niche that we have to overlook those red flags, because what are we gonna, the Pack-A-Game series hasn't done anything like this before, anything that's been this meaty and intriguing as this appears to be. So, I feel like they can get away with maybe not having the best Kickstarter page. Games ends. To try to game yourself, download the preview print and play today at pnparcade.com. This is nice, but I don't like the stray links. Maybe just get a picture you can click that has their logo or something like that. I think that would look a little bit better there. But let me know what you think about that. Am I being too specific? But I mean, this is your page. This is your baby. And for the longest, and I'm the last one to talk. My quality, like, look at all this stuff behind me. It's crazy. But, if this is your Kickstarter page, just have that be a nice little picture of what PNP Arcade is. Purple Moose plays the Ugly Gryphon Inn. Awesome. We got a solo gameplay. Stretch goals! What? Stretch goals gone. Free expansion. What does that mean? In previous campaigns. Also, I think this should be higher. Right now, I'm clicking on this because I'm intrigued. What's all the buzz about? How did this tiny game get to $52,000? Woo me with the stretch goals. I think these should absolutely be moved up. In previous campaigns, we created expansion material and used it as stretch goals. Since 2018, we've just given it away from the start. So no worries on whether we'll hit it or not. What? So this is just... I'm very intrigued to know what other people think about this. For me personally, I like the stretch goal model a little bit better. I think it's more exciting, and I think it gets your audience more engaged with the Kickstarter itself, maybe in comments and doing that sort of things. So I don't know if I like this, but I could also see the counterpoint, which is, hey, just give me the stuff. So I'm torn. So rewards, $1. Board Game of the Month Club pledge. What is this? Pledge here to use your custom Board Game of the Month Club rate. For info, scroll to the bottom of the page. Okay. Scroll later. Ugly Gryphon Inn PNP. Wait, weren't you... Didn't you already... Wasn't it free up here? Didn't you say? Try the game yourself. Download the preview PNP today at PNP Arcade. Why would you have a print and play level if you're giving away the print and play for free? I don't understand that. But there's 146 backers, so they understand it much better than me, so I will shut my mouth and keep on scrolling. Ugly Gryphon Inn, $10. Ah, boy howdy. Retail price is $15, saved to $5. How much? I imagine the shipping is dirt cheap on this because it's in that really tiny thing. Well, not dirt cheap, but you know what I'm saying. 57 backers, so that's not the most popular one. The print and play. Oh, and Local Dragon. So this is going to be, expansion. So this is going to be a whole bunch of game right there. And Local Dragon, for $12. There you go. You want to know why this is doing so well? Button Shy Solo and 2-player games are the best to take everywhere in your pocket and play when you have the chance. Only 18 cards each, says Martin Borda. And yes, I have played some, and I believe I actually still have some. And that's the other thing. They take up so little space that I just don't feel like I'm ever going to get rid of them. Be like, what's the point in getting rid of this game? It takes up such a tiny amount of space. They're definitely bulletproof games. This one looks really cool. Only get to $15 and you can get the original game too. So look at this. This is so cheap, and times are tough right now. It's Christmas time, money is always stretched tight this time of year, and while you may browse on Kickstarter, you're like, I can't really spend the 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100, 150, with those minis games, how much that is, and look at this, $15, boom, and I'm getting 2 different games from a designer I know, and $30 if you get the expansion. This is nice. I almost feel like this should be a little bit higher too. This is a really done aspect of the page. I love your rewards section, and I think it should be higher. Get me to it a little bit quicker. get me to it a little bit quicker. I don't need to know how to play the game. Because here's the thing, that video should already told me I want this game. That video should have already convinced me. You know what? And that's the other thing. I didn't watch the whole video, but I wonder if it really, showed off the fact that this is a really portable game. Like, at the end of it, somebody should just slid it right into their pocket, I think. But hey, what do I know? Add-ons. Oh, yeah, add-ons. I bet because they have all the other different games, and I bet that's why. Whoo, very nice. We were waiting to see if Kickstarter approves any on-site add-ons for this campaign. It's still in beta, invite-only process. For the time being, if you want to add more wallet games from our library, and we have a whole bunch, we will do that in a different way. Okay, I like that. They're very open, upfront, transparent. We are waiting to see if Kickstarter is going to approve this, but even if not, we got this backup plan. That's real nice. Really good. Not reading it all, but it's great. It's a nice, warm security blanket. Scott Almes, oh yeah, he did the Tiny Epic series, and he ruined that Twitter man's life. Okay, he's a baller. Continuing on, the Board Game of the Month Club. This is what I'm interested in. This $1-a-month shenanigans. What is this? Board Game of the Month. Pledge here to use your custom Board Game of the Month Club. It's a subscription service where you receive unreleased micro games, promo cards, expansion contents, and Kickstarter discounts every month. Supporters also receive from $1 to $10 off every wallet game that we make. Our 2020 $5 package includes okay, this is cool. I like the idea of this, but I'm not quite still understanding how I give you my money. Maybe it's just me. You have the wallet editions if you're about they're available cheap on P&P to make them yourself. Oh, very cool. Message. Thank you for all the information, Martin. We have an awesome following of repeat customers. As a result, we built the Board Game of the Month Club. Okay. It's a subscription service where you receive unreleased micro games promo cards every month. Supporters also receive. So how much does it cost? Our 2020 $5 package. So $5 every month. Is that what it is? Is that an add-on? Is that something you could do later? Like how do I pledge here to use your custom board? Yeah, I feel like maybe I like this idea and it's really cool, and I like the idea of getting a game every month in the mail. That's like really cool to me. Especially if it's a pocket-sized game and it's like, oh, I take it out of the package, slide it in my pocket, and maybe I take a look at it, in the bathroom later or at the dinner table after dinner. Who knows? I like that idea, but and so I almost feel like this. If this is what you're trying to get to, you're trying to have this big bang Kickstarter, which it is, 52,000. You got, I bet you, there's a huge number of backers here. 2,000 backers. Now is the time to really be showing that off. And if you think that is going to be, a really successful business model for you, which it definitely could be, because a lot of people, it's such a low amount of cash, if it is $5 a month, that they just, they just $5 a month, ding, 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 every single month, and they never cancel it because they like getting the game, and $5 a month isn't that much. And that is a great way to, and that's why you see subscription services all over the place. But I think this should be higher, and it should be a little bit more obvious, I think, of how you're trying to do it. What is this? Then we are starting up a new year-long game in March. It's called Lightyear, a 12-part episodic space adventure by Jason Greeno. What is this? What is this? No, this shouldn't be here. I don't feel like this should be here. Like, I'm really interested in whatever this is, and you know where this should be? And I see one thing that I will think is a little bit of a red flag. Right there. One update. Now, I imagine this is a short Kickstarter, but this is the kind of information. Everything you're told me about New Year or Light Year, whatever the heck that is down there, I would totally put it into an update, because the people that are backing your Kickstarter are the people who are going to be interested in that exact thing. And a lot of those people probably are not going to scroll the entire page, partially because it's such a cheap game. If it's such a cheap game, do I really need to read about the shipping and the what you're going to do about COVID or whatever? No, I don't need to know any of that stuff. So I don't go all the way down. I get my pledge and I'm out. There's no real stretch goals to unlock. You just gave me all the stuff, so I'm not coming back. And there you go. That right there, I think, because when I was looking for this, it was, I think, in the fourth row on the popularity thing, which is good. It's good. But with 2,000 backers, you should be getting a lot more engagement, and you should be trying to drive just more engagement there. Yeah, I believe the subscription is through Patreon, but it wasn't clear on the page. Thank you, Filthy. Yeah, so make that clear. Send me a link. Get me out of here. Give me a video. Give me a 2-minute video. Boom, right there. Hey, this is our Button Shy game preview. You like getting a game every single month, $5. Bam, 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 bam. Like that, I would make it just easier to consume, and I don't think it's easier to consume right now. So I would almost cut that out of your Kickstarter right now and put an update right now. This is what we're working on. Go to the Board Game Geek and like it so you can stay subscribed and follow for more information. Try and drive people towards your next project. That's what I'd be doing right here, because I think definitely updates. That's your chance. You get their attention when they first come to it, and then maybe they come back for stretch goals, but now you don't have any stretch goals, so how are you going to get their attention again? Boom, pop an update. Next huge game coming up. Get the lowdown sneak peek on it, whatever it may be. Let's check out the comments. See how that's popping. 152 comments, not bad. I'd like to add spaceships expansion to my pledge, but I'm only seeing 1 of 2 spaceships expansions in the shop. Should I wait until that appears before ordering? I'm an international backer, so that's a question. Okay, not having any luck with the I'm Too Patient code. Okay, there's nothing that seems like a huge red flag here. But in the end, so this is where I try to rank it. So it's either the whale, back it for $1 and wait, or keep clicking on. And I would say, honestly, with this one, it's got bulletproof armor, baby! I'm going with the whale! Because where else are you, if you want this, if this has interested you, and if you're to this point of the video, you're probably either watching for Kickstarter tips on when you run a Kickstarter, or you're very interested in this game. And I would say, the whale, because where else are you going to get a game that is this size that plays like this? It's not coming up. So I backed this one because I liked Sprawlopolis. If that turns out as well, I'd sign up for sure. Yeah, that's another thing. You told me about Scott Almes. You told me how great Scott Almes is, but what I would have really liked to have seen, some of the bigger Bud & Shy games. Give me some quotes about some big Bud & Shy games, or somewhere on this page, because you did market the upcoming game, but I'd like to know that, hey, we got some great games, and maybe, I don't know. But there you go. That has been today's Kickstarter critique. If you enjoyed this segment, please let me know any feedback in the comments down below. I'm constantly tweaking and twerking and not twerking and trying to figure out how to do this best. But as always, thanks for your time, YouTube.